Good evening on the World News Tonight from BGI Television. My name is Morire Regila Lawal. First, the headlines. Tinubu met empty treasury. It must keep borrowing to keep Nigeria going. Ex-Ogun governor. Labor unions urge Tinubu to fulfill his promises to workers. CBN staff killed 3 others as armed robbers stormed supermarket on the outskirts of Abuja. EFCC to question Farouk Sadia over alleged 37 billion naira fraud. It's incorrect to say Nigerians have no right to bear arms. Falana. On sports, ex-Golden Eaglet coach Broderick Imasuen is dead. The news in detail. Former governor of Ogun State, Olusegun Oshoba, has revealed that President Bola Tinubu's administration met an empty treasury upon assuming office. According to Oshoba, the situation compelled the Tinubu-led administration to embark on a borrowing spree as a stopgap measure. Oshoba made the remarks during an appearance emphasizing the efforts made by Tinubu's government to navigate the prevailing economic hardships in the country. He assured Nigerians that while borrowing became necessary in the interim, the administration will review and adjust its strategies after the initial phase. Talking of borrowing, when your pocket is empty, you have to go to your bank to show you up for some time. It depends on how you manage that situation. Despite acknowledging the current hardship, Oshoba conveyed optimism for 2024, expecting improvement in the country's economic conditions under Tinubu's leadership. Regarding the recent increase in 2024 budget, Oshoba asserted that a key law and lay in its practical implementation, highlighting the need for reasonable utilization of allocated funds. Responding to inquiries about Tinubu's absence from Plateau State amid security crisis, Oshoba emphasized the president's commitment to addressing the root causes rather than token appearances. Oshoba defended Tinubu's policy decisions, acknowledging their impact on the rich and the poor, and attributing them to the imperative of fostering economic growth. The labor unions, the Nigeria Labour Congress and the TUC, Trade Union Congress, has urged the president to walk the talk in 2024. Recall that in his speech, President Tinubu promised to implement a new national minimum wage and living wage for workers in 2024. Reacting, the head of Information NLC, Benson Upa, in separate interviews, said the new minimum wage the president promised is not a favor but a statutory obligation. Also note, payment of new national minimum wage is not a favor, it is a statutory obligation. Our advice to government is to walk the talk in 2024. Nigerians are tired of failed promises. On his part, the TUC Vice President Tomi Etim urged the president to fulfill his promises, saying Nigerians are tired of failed promises. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has faulted the president's promises, describing his New Year's speech as empty and uninspiring. Tragedy struck late Tuesday night, 2nd of January 2024, as armed robbers killed at least 4 persons inside a Wisdom supermarket in Karu, near Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. According to reports gathered, the criminals made their way into the crowded shopping mall at exactly 8:30 p.m., demanding money and ransackings everywhere. Before the armed robbers exited the supermarket, at least 4 persons were found on the floor, lifeless, as the entire area was thrown into confusion. The supermarket is located in one-man village, Karu, Madaraba, which is actually in Nasarawa State. Most residents of this satellite area work in the Federal Capital Territory. One of those found dead at the scene is the staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, as at the time of filing this report, the police was yet to make any statement concerning the tragic events. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is expected to question the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, over an alleged 37.1 billion naira fraud. A top EFCC source confirmed these in a telephone interview on Wednesday. Umar Farouk served as minister under former President Muhammadu Buhari from August 2019 to May 29, 2023. Last week, the former minister was invited by the anti-graft agency following a probe that was launched into her activities in the ministry when she held sway. She was being investigated over the sum of 37.1 billion naira fraud that was allegedly laundered under her watch through a contractor, James Okwete. A week after the former minister was asked to appear before interrogators at the EFCC headquarters located at Jabi, Abuja by 10 a.m. However, she has yet to appear at the EFCC headquarters, the source who craved anonymity because of the sensitivity of the matter said. According to the source, some other officials who worked with her had also been invited to provide an insight into how the affairs of the ministry were run in the last 4 years. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has faulted the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja's statement on his disapproval for citizens to bear arms, saying it's incorrect to say Nigerians have no right to bear arms. His comment came following coordinated attacks on Plateau State during the Yuletide by assailants. I do not support that. I think that is a call for anarchy, the Army Chief said on Sunday in an interview. But Falana reacted to the statement of the Army Chief in an interview also Sunrise Breakfast on Wednesday. In the first place, it is not correct to say Nigerians have no right to bear arms, apart from the fact that the penal code applicable in the north and the criminal code applicable in the south recognizes the right to self-defense. In the first place, we have to discuss the right and proceed to examine the propriety. In other words, if someone aims a gun at me and I can quickly grab another gun, I have the right to shoot. When asked to clarify if the law allowed for one to bear guns, Falana noted that one needs a gun license. However, Falana called for caution regarding what the Constitution mandates when it comes to self-defense. Saying further, just saying the right to self-defense, which is also guaranteed by the Constitution. All I am not allowed to do is not to use a force that is not proportional to the threat. In May, a former majority leader, Al-Hassan Al-Dodogwa, made a presentation on the floor of Nigeria's House of Representatives, calling on the federal government to allow citizens to bear arms for self-defense. Seun Kuti, the son of the Afrobeat late musician Fela Anikulapo Kuti, has reiterated his readiness to meet Chief Bolaji Ayorinde, senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, over the libel and defamation of character suits instituted against him over his comment on the Process and Industrial Development P&ID Limited case. Ayorinde had debunked the claim by Kuti that as a principal partner in the P&ID case representing Nigeria, he intentionally leaked documents to the company against the country. Kuti, in a press briefing on Wednesday in Lagos, denied ever committing any libel or defamation of character against Ayorinde. Rather, he said that he only read out the judgment of Justice Robin Knowles of the Commercial Court of England and Wales, which ruled in favor of Nigeria in the enforcement of a $11 billion P&ID arbitration award. In his social media handle, he expressed surprise that Ayorinde could sue him for defamation of character and libel when the 140 pages court judgment was already in the public domain. Kuti also wondered why Ayorinde could sue him in Oyo State when both parties involved in the case are residents of Lagos. He further emphasized that he received Nigeria police invitation on the matter, which he intended to honor on Thursday. The Nigerian Medical Association Ogun State branch has raised the alarm over the mental and physical health of doctors working across the state, lamenting that many of them are depressed, exhausted, and overworked due to the acute manpower shortage. The state chairman of the association, Dr. Azim Ashimi, said every hospital in the state was under-resourced, which he said had forced the doctors to work long hours without much assistance. Ashimi, in a statement made available to newsmen to usher in the 2024, urged the state and federal government to address the massive brain drain that is gradually crippling the health sector by employing more doctors, and to also approve the replacement of doctors and other health workers who exit the state health facilities in search of greener pastures abroad. While commending the government for building, renovating, and upgrading health facilities over the years, he stressed the importance of having healthcare professionals who would work in them. Moving on to the next story. In a disturbing resurgence of courts violence, 3 individuals fell victim to a brutal attack by suspected cult members in Injaniki, Lagos. This incident occurring on New Year's Day marks the latest escalation in a series of violent clashes that have plagued the area for past 5 months. Among the casualties is a son of Alhaji Adio, a prominent figure in the community, brutally hacked to death by New Owosheni Street, mere meters away from the local police station. This grim event follows the heinous murder of a police inspector in the same local 5 months over. The community, gripped by fear, witnessed traders easily and hastily closing shops as they sought to refuge from the escalating cult war. The Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer, Benjamin Undeyin, reported the arrest of one suspect, Abubakar Yaya Ibrahim, in the Ebo Eleri area of Ojo. Ibrahim, 32, was apprehended with a locally made double gun with expended and live cartridges recovered from his possession. 2 other suspects managed to evade capture during the police intervention at a street carnival venue where the clash originated. The hoodlums always used the opportunity to rob people of their belongings. It took time before the police arrived at the scene to bring the situation under control, he added. The Lagos State Public Relations Officer Benjamin Udain said, as confirmed. Moving on to the foreign story. Former U.S. President Donald Trump filed an appeal on Tuesday against a ruling by the top election official in Maine that would keep him off the presidential primary ballot in the northeastern state. Maine last week joined Colorado in barring Trump from appearing on the primary ballot before and because of his role in the January 6, 2021 assault on the U.S. Capitol by his supporters. Trump's attorneys urged the Maine's Superior Court to toss out the ruling by Maine Secretary of State Shannon Bellows, a Democrat, calling her a biased decision maker who acted in an arbitrary and capricious manner. The Colorado Supreme Court ruled last month that Trump, the front-runner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, is ineligible to appear on the presidential primary ballot in the western states because of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Finally, sports. Sebastian Broderick Imasurin, 85, the celebrated coach who led the Golden Eagles to victory in the inaugural FIFA Under-16 World Cup in 1985 in China, is dead. Family sources in Benin City confirmed the coach's demise Wednesday morning after a few months of being bedridden as a result of stroke. A former member of the 1989 Golden Eaglet coached by Broderick Imasurin at Scotland, Jide Oguntuashi, also confirmed the death of the gaffer on social media. The former abandoned insurance player who scored the winning goal for the Benin Arsenal in the 1972 Challenge Cup final became more famous after leading Udoka Ubadi led Golden Eaglet to win the inaugural FIFA Under-16 World Cup in China. He was born on July 9, 1938 and began his journey in football as a player with the then Electricity Corporation of Nigeria Football Club of Lagos from 1962 to 1970. His achievements included a National Challenge Cup triumph in 1965 and 1972 and was part of Nigeria's football team to the 1968 Olympic Games in Mexico. With a sports story, we've come to the end of today's world news. Before we go, some headlines. Tinubu met empty treasury. He must keep borrowing to keep Nigeria going. Ex-Ogun Governor Oshoba. Labor unions urge Tinubu to fulfill his promises to workers. CBN staff killed 3 others as armed robbers stormed supermarket on the outskirts of Abuja. EFCC to question Farouk Sadia over alleged 37.2 billion naira fraud. It's incorrect to say Nigerians have no right to bear arms. Falana. On sports, ex-Eaglet coach Broderick Imasurin is dead. For update of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Babagbagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of goods and services, coverage of event and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Mohiri Rabila Lawan. Good evening.